So in order to start working on the web application on the SkillCourt.com, there are a few things that are going to need to be known and a few things that you need to be familiar with. First of all, as far as code editing, you can use the Visual Studio 2015. It allows you to edit everything well. It has a lot of good features. And it also has the built-in Team Explorer, which allows you to work with the GitHub repository. So you can go ahead and manage your code this way instead of having to do everything on the command line. It makes that a lot easier. Now, aside from that, you can use the Firebase Console to look at and manage all of the data for the project. So all the authentication is going to be here in the console. So it gives you all the email addresses of all the users, provider, whether it's email or it's a Facebook login. Created, signed in isn't very important, but the user ID is. Then you can look at the database here. The database rules, these shouldn't really need to be changed at all. They help keep everything safe. And the data you have here, the events, the rooms, the sequences, and the users. These can all be pulled when you pull instances of the database. You can go ahead and read all of this data at once because you're creating snapshots of the database every time you read it. So once you've gone ahead and edited your code in the Visual Studio project and you want to re-upload the current working project into the Amazon web server, you are going to need PuTTY and a PuTTY-generated code, which will be provided. So the host name, I have it copied in the clipboard, is the actual address of the server. This can be found on the Amazon Web Services console. I'll also try to include it in some notes. Then you go down here into SSH Authentication. You click on Browse, and then you're going to find the key pair, which will be given. And then you're going to go ahead and open. It opens up this console. Log in as Bitnami. I'll leave it here for a second so you can see how it's spelled. That's the provider of this particular type of server through Amazon. It had some pre-installed software that helps with the running. Go ahead and click enter. It'll authenticate, brings this up, and then it's standard Linux interface. What you're going to want to do to use any git commands is change directory into apps, SkillCourt, a capital S and a capital C, and then that gives you where you want to be in the repository. Through here you can go, obviously like in a file browser, you could go and see what's in each of these files, and this is where you do all of your git commands. Now, what you want to do to have this running is before you edit it, what you want to do is type in this command, forever stop all. That will go ahead and stop the server. Then you go ahead and make your changes, update from Git, so on and so forth. And then when you're done, you can always say npm start.js. That will run it momentarily. That'll run it while you have this window up. That's so you can go check your changes, make sure everything works how it's supposed to. And then you go ahead and you say forever start.js. And that'll go ahead and run the server indefinitely until you come along and say forever stop all. It'll run the server, so you can go ahead and close the window and it'll still be running. It uses NodeMon, so you have a little bit of, you can see how things are running. You can see the requests come in, see them being served. And that should just about be everything needed to actually go and start editing the web project. You're going to need access to the GoDaddy to manage the domain. You're going to need access to Facebook for Developers, which is through the this will handles the Facebook login, and you're going to need access to the Firebase, which should all be provided to you, and that should be all.
Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to install and start working with the SkillCourt app project. SkillCourt app is actually developed with the ID Android Studio, so you need to have it, so you can download it from developer.android.com. Also, you need to have Git installed in your computer. This is a very important tool right now for this project, because you're going to download from here the most recent code, and also you're going to be pushing a lot of the new code so while you're working. So also you need to have some background in the terminal to run some simple commands for pushing your new project, and also for setting up the Node.js server. Finally, you need to be added as a Heroku Facebook developer, so in both projects. So we are going to be more specific later. So let's start. For downloading the project, you don't actually need. The best way is going to be like you're going to run some simple command from the terminal. So it's gonna be, first you need to check if you have Git installed, so you're going to run this command. Let me put the screen closer. So you're going to put git version. So as you see, I got this version. It could be any version, so this is just to show you if you already have it installed. So we are running a simple command that is going to be git clone, and we are going to, this is the repository from SkillCourt. You're going to be added as a contributor by your owner or instructor, so you just need to go and click clone or download. You're going to take this link, and you're going to be added here as a parameter in the git clone. So you just press enter. This is going to be cloning the project. This is the best way, because the folder is already git initialized, and you need to have a folder git initialized to push the new code and make some pull requests. So this is the best way. You actually can also download it by download zip file, but you need to, after this, initialize the folder as a Git repository. But you can do it, but this is the easiest way. And with this, run this command git clone, you are going to have it ready for working. So after this, you go to Android Studio, and you are going to import this project as a Gradle project. So you go here, we look for the directory. There is example installation. This is laboratory, and you're going to click OK. So there are some errors because it's using some local properties of other people, but doesn't care. You're just going to send accept, and it's going to create his own private properties. So don't worry about it. So with this, it's going to be already. You're going to be ready to start working using Android Studio. So here it is. So let's wait for this to start. And you're going to have this already ready for working. For Git, well, you need to read the documentation, so you can push and create pull requests of the project while you're working. This is how you are going to be working with the project. For in the other side, you have the Node.js server. The Node.js server you just need is just a JavaScript file that is going to be edited by using a text editor. For me right now, I use Sublime Text, so I open just the I'm going to open the folder that is going to be SkillCourt SkillCourt server. So you just open you just open it, and you're going to have multiple files. So you're going to have the node modules, the views. You actually do not need the views. It's just for the HTML, but what you are going to be editing is the main JS, that is this one, that is implementing Express, etc. So this already set it. This is how to access to the Node.js server code. Finally, you need to be added as a Facebook developer and also as a Heroku contributor. So Heroku is going to be the server that is hosting the Node.js server. So Heroku actually, how you send the changes to Heroku, you need to read the documentation. It's just a globally Git repository, and you're going to be pushing your new code to this. So Heroku is already set it. You need to read the documentation how to push if you are going to make some changes to the server code. Finally, for the Facebook developer, you must be added as a developer there. So the project needs to add your key hashes so you can use it in the emulator or the folder where you are testing the app. So that is actually how you are going to be using all the. I know this is a lot of information, but simple. You just need the Android Studio ID for start working, Git installed in your computer, know how to know the simple commands for GitHub, and that's it. If the server side is already done, but if you want to create any changes or you want to add any new features, you can use it, and you just need to read the documentation from Node.js server and Heroku. So basically that's it. Thank you very much.